Hello, welcome to Chief Architect Workshop. I have a sheet metal worker who is doing a historic cornice work renovation like this. He's redoing this cornice work. It's a historical landmark, and apparently the authorities asked him to provide a little drawing of what's really happening here. So he sent me some stuff of what they're doing, basically following exactly what was built 100 years ago in terms of framing, which is really interesting. They're actually doing he drew the 2x4s in the middle of a wall, cantilevered out, and just this force alone was holding the cantilevered detail for the last 100 years, and we're simply going to replace that. It'll be accurate framing. It held for 100 years, should hold for another 100 years, but he also improved on it, and he added, let me see if I can grab that, he added some rods that'll be bolted through here. One of the things that he's not indicating is how the plywood comes here, and the parapet is here, and the membrane and all that stuff, and I'm sure that's what the authorities would like to see, what is really happening. So we're going to try to detail what is really going on up there for them, and that's our job today. We're going to use Chief as a CAD tool, not as easy to use as other two-dimensional CAD system, because Chief is basically a three-dimensional CAD system. But we're going to push the envelope a little bit and show you how that's done. For example, this detail should be drawn at 3/4. The closest we can get is 1/2 inch with defaults, but that'll be close enough. So we can dimension. It's about a 16-inch. Let's see, that's a little oversized for our. Those are fat lines. When we print these, those are going to be way too fat, since we have our module, which shows approximately what they would look like when we printed them up in terms of line weight. At 1/4 inch scale, this line weight would be thin, but as we blow it up on a sheet, it becomes way too fat. So that's one of the things that Chief should work on in the future. Really become a little bit more of a friendlier two-dimensional detail system, but their strength is 3D. But we've been using Chief forever, so it's been so long since I've done two-dimensional drawing, really serious two-dimensional drawing. Usually I just doctor up a Chief section and add some details, but we're just going to do it from scratch. So let's work on that. We have our sketch. So we know we have about 16 inches. Let's draw the brick, the brick wise. They're 12 inches thick. They're about, we want to be about 16 inches over. And what I'm doing here is what am I doing here? I'm going to rotate this line. What I've done is I've taken a line, and I'm already concerned about how it, ooh, that's bizarre. What happened there? Oh, it's dimensioning there. So if that's the outside face, let's do a move point. Let's move it. Take that point, put it there. Let's Control C, Control V, put it there. Let's do a manual end to end. Do it there. We actually have 1 foot. We have a 16-inch cantilever. After chatting with my metal friend who's a genius at this stuff, I mean, that's just beautiful, beautiful work. And it's not cheap. This is some, this metal work is custom detail work. There he is. He's field measuring the existing, takes it to a shop. They bend it. They have the machinery to bend all these and make all the pieces that make the cornice, which is really quite fascinating how they do that. And it ends up, one piece looks like that, one piece looks like that, to create the cornice, and it's got all the little curves, and it's really gorgeous. It's beautiful. Okay, let's draw the Ys. 1'4". Let's go Control C, Control V. I'm using these lines because this is what I want to. We have a 12-inch wall. I hate these arrows. So let's go to 12. 3 Ys thick. And we're just using that as our dimensions. But let's go edit. Default settings. Dimension. Edit. Hello. Dimension. We got okay, dimensions. Temporary, auto, exterior, all that. We just want your basic dimensions that we want to edit. Hello. They're appearing somewhere, but I don't know where. I'm working on 2 screens here, so they might be on a second screen. Okay, we get this screen. What we're going to try to do is see what... and it's just showing up on my second screen, so I got to drag it back over to here. Primary format, smallest fraction, secondary, locate objects, etc., etc. What we really want is, I hate that arrow. Eek, it's a yuckity arrow. At 1/2 inch, a little oversized. Let's just do it like 1.5. And I don't like that arrow. I like this arrow. And I have a 1/2 inch used textile. I don't like, sorry Chief, I don't like I have a friend, structural engineering friend, who sent me, they use another software program, and I like their font better. They use SP Hand, and no free advertising for that company. SP. And I like that font much better. Hand compressed. It compresses a little nicer. Much nicer looking font. And we're going to hit OK. And we're going to hit Done. And now you can see our arrows have changed. Text is still a little oversized. Maybe we should edit that again, because yeah, a little oversized. There's another trick we're going to do. Maybe we won't even mess with this. We're just going to use it. We are going to... well, that's not easy either. We're doing this in real time. All right, let's just continue with what we got. We're just going to go with this. Whatever it is, it is. Maybe we'll change it a little later. We'll play with it a little later to make it look more what we're after. This is just going to help us draw. We've got this 16-inch cantilever, 12-inch wall. Yeah, that's what we're looking at. That's that detail down below, which we're not going to really show. That sort of stuff is happening down below. That's happening all in this area here. That's our brick. That's our cantilever. It's about a 16 by 16. All right, let's draw the brick Ys. The brick Ys are... let's... All right, let's go Control C, Control V. And really the brick wise is just to keep it simple, we're going to go 3.5. Huh. I wonder if that brickwise is a little thicker than 12. Because the brickwise are really, 3.5. Yeah, we're just going to go 3.5, 3.5. Take this guy, go Control C, Control V, and take that there. No, we don't, that's not it. Let's just catch it down here and see if it dimensions it. Just keeps searching for that dimension up there. Here it grabbed it. Let's go, how about there? How about this? Still grabbing that upstairs for some strange reason, so let's just end-to-end dimension, there to there, 5. Snap into a grid, which makes it easy. That's Chief, A+. Good job. There's our Ys. We have 3.5, 3.5. Actually, 3 5/8 is the actual. But the reason we're doing that is this is a 3.5-inch box. Control C, Control V, and in the old days, it looks like those old timers, they popped the 3.5-inch down in between the Ys like that in order to tie it to the wall. And that's all they did. They just grouted that in, and it wasn't even treated. Filled it with grout and called it a day. And what we're going to do is we're going to pop that sucker down in there, scoot it up here, and we actually, let's take a look at this. Let's take a look at our, what they did is they got it scooted out there, they got that there, so we want to sketch that in as well. So we're going to just take this, Control C, Control V, rotate it, and this guy is actually here. And here's where we can, yeah, let's do point to points for God's sakes. Let's keep this simple. Point to point, point to point. Otherwise, we got that double line thing happening there. All right, that's what's happening there. That's going across there. That's getting there. And this is what my concern was. All right, you got this guy going. That's your brick. That's your cornice. What do you do here? Because your structure's down here. The parapet wall is here. Let's take a look at that picture again. I mean, it doesn't look like there's much of a. Let's blow that up. I can't even. It almost looks like that roof parapet is. That roof is just about flush. Barely anything. Interesting. Or you really can't see the drop. This is just the top of the masonry wall. Now there's got to be a little bit of a drop. It doesn't make any sense. All right. Let's show that. The roof is somewhere here. The roof plane of the roof is somewhere here. So let's draw the roof plane. And let's take a line. Draw the line. And the roof is here. And it's an interior roof. It's going to have a little bit of a thing going on there. And more than likely it's some sort of a truss roof with plywood and whatnot. You really got to draw the whole detail. And this is what my friend does not understand. Let's take a box. What's nice about the box is that it'll fill nicely and then maintain. This we're going to use as our plywood indication, our fill style. In order to mimic the plywood, we are going to use a horizontal hatch. And let's see if we'll do 1/8 inch plies. I think that's And that's the and that looks like that. Yeah, maybe you could do 1/4" plies is more accurate for plywood. Fill style, really the plies. Let's go to 1/4. Or 1/8". Doesn't matter. Just getting a little busy there. So there's our plywood. And how thick is that plywood? How thick is that box? We can even go to the box dimension. Let's say that plywood is 3/4. All right, and this is when the ply is really that. Then we should have the plies at 1/8 because we don't have 2 1/2" plies. Those are actually, the plies are smaller for the plywood. Yeah, that looks more like indication for plywood. But what's nice when we use a box is that it maintains that. I hope it maintains that. No, not really. Yeah, what are you going to do? All right, here's, we sort of arbitrarily drew that line, but what we can do is select that, use our perpendicular tool, and make it perpendicular to our arbitrarily drawn roof angle. And now we have it arbitrarily drawn, and just to indicate that that's some drafting convention, plywood, membrane, slope, check. That's what's happening there. I'm not going to draw the structure. Complicated. I'm not going to dimension that. That's what's happening there. What we do want to show the boys is how the hell are we transitioning to here? Because we've got this as our main structure. And we've got our plywood. So let's take our plywood box, Control-C, Control-V. There. Let's just keep it simple, make it perpendicular to that. Now let's point to point move it. But it does have a little bit of a slope to the rear in order to get it to drip off the back. So I'm going to rotate that just a hair. Just a, and here we're just doing this by eye. Like that there. And we're going to take this, slide it down here, perpendicular to our arbitrarily sloped guy, so that it, and now we'll put that guy there. And that's what's happening there, more or less. 1'4". Let's just keep our 1'4" dimension. Our overall is 1'4", so we really want to get this guy point to point there. So we've got a piece of plywood, 2x4. Just been copying stuff. And the way this works is we're just nailing it. Let's do a nailing indication. Looks like they got 4 nails. And we're just going to do just a little line thingy. Here's another nailing convention, another drafting convention. We'll just take a little thing like that and a little thing like that, and that is way too thick. So this is the issue with the old Chiever. 9. Let's make that 4 or even 2. And let's make this 2. Oh, not the length, the align style. Should be 2. Tab, that gets rid of the weight. We're changing the line weight. And let's select. Yeah, let's clean it up. Let's make it look more like a. We actually drew it nicely. We're just going to show a nailing indication. What's interesting is everyone thinks that this is like a. Just whip this out in 10 minutes. Sorry, guys. Not that easy. Wish it was that easy. Just. All right, let's make this perpendicular. At this small scale, it's just kind of wacky. There we go. Now we're going to take that and we're going to select it and we're going to turn it into a CAD block. There's your little CAD block. And now we can take that CAD block, Control C, Control V, and that little nailing doohickey. We'll just use that. We've got 4 nails in that thing. Control C, Control V, Control C, Control V. Now we're showing our nails. That's what we're doing there. And now Shift, 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 Shift. Select that nail pattern. Control C, Control V, and we're gonna. That's how we're nailing all this stuff together, dude. 1'4". We got a little bit of a slope going. Now, oh, this is a 2x6. Yeah, look at this. See, we got a 2x6 there, according to sketch. 2x6 there. That's the 2x4. This is a treated 2x in there. So let's change that. So we're gonna take this guy. Instead of a 3.5, we're going to call it 5.5. Huh. Not what it really looks like. Okay. That means that cornice is, that's not accurate. He says it's 16 inches. Oh, and it's sloping the other way. It's sloping toward the front. Okay, and it is 16 inches. That can't be, if that's a 2x6. That dimension is not right. It does not look like his dimensions are not right. That's not a 2x. That's a 2x4. That's that's not a 2x6. He's wrong. Keep that. Let's just undo it. He's just messed up. That is more like what's really happening. 2x6 is way too fat and not necessary for this small deal. He just ain't right. Control C, Control V, down there, perpendicular to there, point to point it, there to there. There's our bottom framing member. Let's nail the crap out of it. So it takes our nailing indications, copy it, hold our shift key, grab our items, Control C, Control V, get our nailing pattern in there, Control C, Control V, another nailing pattern there. That's what we're doing there, nailing that sucker in there. And actually, this is wrong. It's actually sloping toward the front. So let's edit. This is the nice thing about the Chiefer. It's actually doing something like ever so slightly. A little slope to the front like that. Point to point move. Point to point there. Yeah, that's not right. Oh, it grabbed the midpoint, not the corner point there. I got a feeling this is more than 16. I think that's not right, but that's what he said when I asked him to dimension it for me. And so now I take this guy, perpendicular to our little arbitrarily sloped there. Yeah, we should point to point this guy, for God's sakes. All right, let's go point to point. So we're not playing the... There we go. It's there. Yeah, that's what's really happening there. You know what? Actually, this cornice is... It's got a little bit of a thingy here. Just got a little bit of a clip on there. Later on, we'll draw the fake the profile if we can. It's a much simpler profile from what I can see. All right. Oop, getting ahead of myself here. There actually is a bracing member in that sketch. Yeah, though I don't see it in real life. There's the bracing member that braces it, but what they've built so far, you can see that there's no diagonal in there. All right, but we're going to throw it in there because he says it's there. So we're going to believe him. And we're going to take our little box guy. And that's pretty good. I'm going to say that's all happening there. We got a brace. We got that. So it looks like this member. If you look at the sketch, this member, it looks like it goes all the way to the end of that brick withe. And so we really want to run a piece of plywood. I really want to have like a piece of plywood. Let's our plywood is Control-C, Control-V. And what we really want to have is a piece of plywood that does this and needs a backing. And it needs to go here. It needs to, it needs to be nailed onto something. And it's not clearly indicated here. So I'm going to send a sketch to our boy. Tell him what the heck's happening back here if this is plywood. And here's a little, and let's change the fill from horizontal to vertical. Oh, interesting. We could also change the angle of the fill too. If we really wanted to, but so we have that piece of, we want that membrane. It's going to come on top of here, come down here on the roof. There's the parapet. Let's draw the brickwise properly. And the brickwise can actually be drawn as a fill, as a hatch fill. So let's go. I'm just going to take this CAD block since they're all 3.5s. Control-C, Control-V. It should be 3.5. Is it right? Yeah, it's 3.5. Grab it. Rotate it. Fill it. We're going to fill it. And we're going to use a fill style. Angle hatch. And we don't want to confuse the issue. Let's see what 2 looks like. I mean, yeah, that's good. That's fine. That's fine. We can just use our point to point. And there's a brick withe. And let's just copy it. Control-C, Control-V. There. Point to point it. Set it into place. I go there to there. There's our second brick withe. And then we have the middle brick withe here. And so we can go Control C, Control V. And look at that. It actually almost looks like it is perfectly in the middle. Look at that. Scoop. There's our brick. There it is in the brick wife. And slide that guy there. And now let's take we're going to do another box and do that there because we're going to break it. We're going to turn this into a white box because we're trying to do a little drafting convention here. You'll see that in a second. Line style, white. We have a whiteout box. We've created a whiteout box there because this just indicated that's continuous. And etc. You don't need this dimension. Just get rid of that. So there's our wall, white. That thing's happening there. That thing's going on there. And we have, what is this dimension? What is this dimension from here? Here it's 1 foot. It's actually longer than that. 14 inches. So let's take our white, drop it down here. I really got that piece of. It really should be deeper down. It should be down at least as. Yeah, it would be it would be 16 inches because it would be follow a masonry module. So let's go Control C, Control V. Here, this. Control C, Control V. There. And then that we want to be 1'4". That's the masonry module right there. That's where this masonry goes. Lines up there. And this guy is down here, and then that's filled with grout. And take that there. We can, I think later on we'll play with the dimensions a little bit more. These are just too monstrous for the detail that we want. Yeah, let's change it right now in preferences. Damn it, cancel. Not preferences, defaults, default setting. And our dialog box is appearing on the second screen. We want dimensions. Edit. Ah, there it is. Showing up there. Edit that guy. Text style. Let's go to 1 inch, about half that, and the arrow should be reduced to 1 as well. And see what that looks like. And hit OK. Hit done. And look at our line weight is kind of funkoidal. Let's, yeah. And that's actually a little, it's actually a little too small. Just for fun, let's see what it looks like on a sheet of paper. Okay, so we've got ourselves a blank layout. And we didn't even title this yet, so I'll save it as the Lincoln detail. And we're throwing it into our mountaintop stuff just to, since I have the layout bar on the layout from there. Okay, So let's send it to the layout file, send to layout. And we're going to do it at 1 inch equal 1 foot. And it should be the current screen. And let's see what that looks like. 1 inch equals to 1 foot looks like that. Oh, that's good. Oh, man. Yeah, that works. That works with a little detail. And actually, that text size is fine. That text size does the job. And the arrows do the job as well. And our line weights. Oh, it just gets a little fatter. Whatever. That's kind of where we're at. So that does the job. Okay, let's go back to our... What else do we need to show here? And I'm going to draw the bolts in and send it to Greg, our metal guy, and get his feedback. So to make a bolt, we are going to take a box, and it's a 5/8 inch bolt. So we're going to make a 5/8 inch box. It's not 21 inches long. Let's say it's 14 inches long. And we're going to fill it solid, not black. Let's just use a solid dark gray. There's our bolt. It's a big ass bolt. You see, 5/8 is pretty substantial. And that bolt is going there to there. There to there. And he says there's two of them. They bolted it like that there. Actually, I don't like that designation. Let's get rid of that. I don't like it's a little too, I don't like it. So let's get rid of it. Let's just keep it none. Yeah, keep this none. And what we really should do is change the line style to a dash line. And I always, for dash lines, I always go down here, pick one of these guys. Looks a little nicer, a little bit more things happening there for the bolt. So line style, pick it out, slide it down. That's the one we want there. That's fine, line weight. And that's what's really happening to bolt there. Okay, let's add some quick notes before we send it for discussion about what the heck is really happening in this area. Let us go to the other thing is, well, let's just see what happens if we, let's just do it with text. Let's not even worry about that. Let's just do it with text. Text. Just say that all framing treated 2x4 inserted into middle brick wide cavity and grouted solid. Five-eighths inch rod has also been installed. All fasteners are stainless steel. Let's learn how to spell fasteners. Side has been installed. Stainless is stainless. And that's our spell checker. And let's change the text size. What text size are we using? 1/2 inch text size. Use custom. And we'll go, I think we did 1.5 and it was, let's see what 1.5 looks like. That's still too big. Let's go to 1 inch. 1 inch is 1 inch scale. It's still going to be a bit large. Yeah, but that'll be fine. And let's see what that looks like on the layout sheet. A lot of times I do my text on the layout sheet. Or I change the landscaping. Now we can change it to add some landscape. Let's just change it to landscape. So 0 there. Let's go to landscape. Change our layout sheet to landscape, which is what I really had it before, actually. And yeah, it gives us a little more room to slide stuff around. And it's readable. I mean, yeah. That's fine. And let's just send this to, let's just print this thing. Real world here, real world time. Okay, that's what it looks like. Bullzip, print. Okay, we don't want it there. We don't want it there. What are we doing this on? We're doing this on the mountaintop stuff. So let's and we're going to call this Lincoln. When you're thinking Lincoln, it's a little jingle in the Chicagoland area. When you're thinking Lincoln, better carpeting's for less. Lincoln. Fine, doesn't matter. Save. There it is. Let's see what it looks like at 100% scale. Yeah, it's readable. I might blow it up just a little bit, but it does the job. Does the job. Okay. we are going to send that and get some feedback. Okay, just got a call from my metal guy, my rough metal guy out in the field. Apparently this is for the historical landmarks committee. They need a drawing of how the framing behind it is going. It's really not a permit drawing, so we just need to show what's going on back here. Control C, Control V. Let's rotate this 2x4 and pop it here. Go here. We're going to extend this to here. It's a little bit more complicated, but this is just still keep them happy. Because remember, there's that curved thing in the middle. Did I get rid of all my... Yeah, so that framing is really showing what's happening on this side and this side and this side. You know, it's a little different, but different condition. Okay, so we got this going. And let's do our nailer, guys. Shift, 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 shift for nails. Control C, Control V. Control V. There. Get a bunch of nails going in that guy. Control V. 4 nails going into that guy. That's going there. That's doing that. The roof membrane. Okay. Just going to put a little note for 3/4 inch plywood. Quarter inch plywood. For single ply membrane roof. Yeah, we gotta change that to, okay, to 1 inch. And that's it. I'm not going to do anything else. And this is just not really a construction document drawing. It's really just telling the landmarks committee that we're just following everything. All right. And so you got a little, so hopefully some tips on how to do some two-dimensional stuff. Hopefully that was helpful. Again, our website, chicago-workshop.com, or if you have questions, shoot me an email at chicago-workshop@spcglobal.net.